Get lost other.
My name is Erin Jackson Hill, and I am the Executive Director of Stand Up Alaska and Alaskans Take a Stand.
When you say Stand Up Alaska, give us a brief explanation of what that stands for.
Okay, so Stand Up Alaska is a nonprofit organization where we educate and promote social, racial, environmental, and economic justice in the state of Alaska.
In the state of Alaska. And what other, when you say that, what does that mean? What other roles do it play for the community?
So basically, we fight for the issues that make Alaskans' lives a little bit better and a little bit easier. We are fighting for affordable health care. Basically, we believe health care is a human right, and everybody should have health care and be covered by health care. We are fighting for affordable housing, not just in Anchorage, but across the entire state. Our rural communities are really, really hurting as far as housing is concerned. We fight for police accountability. We had 8 police shootings in Anchorage last year. That is ridiculous. We believe that Anchorage doesn't need police officers, we need peace officers. We need people that keep the peace. We don't need a quasi-military system that is basically going out here taking target practice at our kids. That's not what we believe in.
I believe that people have a unique opportunity to love each other and we don't. And we have doors that we can open and ways that we can be together that create community. And a lot of times we make mistakes around that. I believe that we all can come together and create love by letting go of our egos, letting go of our ideas, letting go of our ideologies, and interacting with each other from a human level. Our belief systems, I think the thing that I believe the most is I don't believe in a lot of things. I believe in people.
What made you lose hope in the belief you once had?
I don't have not hope. I don't hold on to a belief so strongly that it gets in the way of loving another person. I think there's difference than losing hope and holding and loving an idea more than the flesh and blood that's across from you. For my job, I spend my whole job feeding people and creating beauty in that moment, and trying to give the best I can to sustain the life and the joy of another person. That's all.
So this past weekend, we did a little march downtown in Town Square where it was us and 3,500 of our best friends joined together in Town Square to say that we want our government to keep their hands off our Medicaid, our Social Security, our Veterans Administration. We don't believe that they should be snatching immigrants off the street. We believe that the post office should be fully funded. There is a litany of things that this administration has come after that are really important to the people that we care about, and clearly they're really important to all Alaskans. So this past weekend, we did a huge march. It was more people than I think I've seen that collected in Anchorage in a really long time, and we've been doing these marches since January, and every single one gets a little bit bigger. And so people are starting to feel the pressure and the pain that is coming out of this administration. And unfortunately, people have a tendency to move at the pace of pain. And as people feel more pain, there will be more people in the streets.
What changes would you like to see in Alaska in the very near future from our state?
I'd like people to stop going missing. I'd like rapists to stop walking the streets. I'd like people who hurt people to stop, to consider their behaviors, that was experiencing homelessness that could truly say that they were loved at home as a child.
Do you think that it starts from early childhood?
I think it starts from generations of trauma and tragedy that happen in the lives of people that go left unchecked and unhealed. And I think it's written in after generations. It becomes written into the DNA of a person to struggle. I mean, it's the whole science, epigenetics, tells you that trauma lasts generations within our DNA, within the patterns that our body and our physiology react. So to undo that is to stop the cycles of trauma, stop the cycles of abuse, and to reincorporate what it means to love each other.
So that's where you would start. What about the ones that are already outside? What can the state do to help lower those? What immediate changes would you like to see from our government?
Immediate changes? Honestly, I would like to see our congressional delegation stand up for Alaskans. Like, vote against this ridiculous budget. Vote against cutting $800 billion from Medicaid. 1/3 of Alaska is on Medicaid or receives some type of benefits. That's 1 in 3 Alaskans that stands to lose their health care if our elected officials don't stand up for us. So that's one thing, vote against this budget. The other thing is protect our voting rights. I just heard that 10 more Samoans were basically railroaded by our state. They were issued voter registration cards, and then they are now being targeted with a potential felony conviction because they voted after our state told them it was okay for them to vote. This cannot stand. This can't stand.
That's an all of it.
Yes. Okay. What about what keeps you up at night?
Indifference.
Yes.
People that are affected and they are in.
That's a good
It's
sign.
driving me.
How do we get any ideas about how we break through the indifference, especially in our youth?
I can't break through with my very best friends.
Until, I think we just have to keep on doing what we're doing. The more we keep on doing, we create a wave, we create a flood. And people will either go, oh, maybe you're making sense there. I mean, it has to hit them.
I mean,
Video that say about 60% some year lost their limbs from being outside.
Yeah, the state can't do anything to help them. Individuals have to do the work. If we wait for the state to do something, it'll never get done. We have to step up. Every person has to make a decision whether or not they're going to help and how they can help. I've made my decision. I feed hungry people every day. I feed homeless people every day. I help people, and I use the money that I make from the catering that I do to create jobs, to help create jobs and food for homeless and hungry people. That's my decision. But every individual has to make a decision on what they can and will do, and then just act on that decision.
What other steps or conversations do you have with them that would help them better them?
I tell them that I believe that they're worth my time, that I believe that they're worth a good life, that they're worth everything that they can have. I try to help instill a sense of love and worth in their life, and that's all I can do.
Like, you think you're safe? You think you're safe. Somebody in your family is not safe. And so I would be, please,
I mean, it drives
put me in, coach.
I think it's a great idea. It drives me crazy that they don't care about the people that aren't safe. But it also drives me crazy that they think they're safe.
And they think that we're making it up.
Right, that I'm just.
Oh, listen to Happy News. What news is that? Oh, where is the Happy News?
Oh no, like what I'm upset,
I do watch dog videos. I watch puppy videos.
I can't change their life. I can't, I mean, it's hard enough to change my own. I can let them know that they're loved by a person and that they are radically accepted.
So what joy do you get, or how do that make you feel when you do stuff like that?
I don't know if it's joy. It's a little bit of sadness mixed with responsibility, mixed with compassion, mixed with just being human, doing the right thing as a human. I don't get super stoked about it because this person's still homeless, they're still hurting. I just feel as though it's the responsibility of every person to show each other that we can become better, and that if we choose and if we're given the opportunity, we can do more.
But you have
Everyone in Alaska, you're beautiful people, and each one of you deserves the most.
I mean, they're telling me I'm being crazy, affecting my mental health. I should read positive news. So I think more information. Right, you're being so negative. So I think more information, which I'm definitely getting tonight, about like how it affects us privileged white people in our bubble. Because those are the people that are telling me that I should read some positive news and not end up doing anything. And they're people that say they care about equality and human rights, but then
Bring me to them.
I was gonna say the same
Bring
thing.
me to them.
I would love to.
The area you have that seats 15 people.
Yeah.
Let's do a tea there.
Okay.
And I would be more than happy to come in and give a presentation about why it is going to affect them.
I have a great story for you about the military. So for years, I have been running around the world, working as a military family life counselor in a number of bases all over the place. And until 2017, when Trump was president, on the TVs, and there's many of them in the dining facilities, they played Fox News. After 2017, football games. No more Fox News on military bases in the dining facilities. It was just football games on silent.
That is a
Not Fox News. Fox News used to be blaring all the time, all through lunch. No more. It was so cool. That's a really good story.
They still play it in the hospital here on base. They play the other one, the like America One or something.
What about the DFAC?
Yeah, in the hospital. At least last time I was there, they
What
did.
about the DFAC? They
I haven't been in the DFAC, but I know in the hospital they do.
DFAC
so.
means dining facility.
Yeah.
And another thing that I would like to do as a fundraiser is a spoken word music, something. You know, maybe an open mic kind of thing, or just, you know.
we do that at
right
Writer's
we
Block.
know.
Good slam coming up.
We do have a poetry slam.
Poetry
Yes.
slam is when?
The date has not been determined yet.
Uh-oh.
It will, it's looking more like May than April. Am I wrong?
Okay.